Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. It's so great to be with you again this wonderful evening. If you're new, go to your phone, launch your phone app, and point it at that QR code at the top right. Touch the little yellow. You'll be directed over to my link tree. If you have any problems getting there, just go to Believe, Believe, me, M-E, Achieve, ACHIEVE.com, and you'll be immediately transported there. You know how we roll. Every Saturday, we start with a brand new master topic, and we roll all the way through the week, and we end on Friday. So it's a 7-day series. And really appreciate you guys popping in. I just want to thank the people that have been with me for so long, friends, colleagues, and associates for coming back. Really means a lot to me that you support my channel and that you really believe in the work that I'm doing here. Thank you so much for supporting my cause. It means more than you guys could ever know from the bottom of my heart. And hopefully some of the new people will become loyal, just like the people that have been with me for so very long. Let's get into the master topic, shall we? Understanding truisms. We're on the series of episode number 4. So, truisms. Truisms can cause problems because people believe that their life is that way. But a truism is really not true, right? It's not really true. So it's a figure of speech expressed as an obviously accurate statement. That's what a truism is, but it's not always true. A truism is something that makes us have a sense just as it's presented. So we don't really challenge it, right? Truisms alone are supposed to be valid statements with no elaboration needed. However, they're oftentimes very far from the truth. All right. So truisms share similarities with many other literary and rhetorical devices. Some of the devices are forms of truisms or closely resemble truisms with only sites and variations in some instances. And some of the different synonyms for truisms can include quite a few things. But before I get into that, I want you to understand that most people that embrace a truism are doing it because it's just so easy to do. It may not be the right thing to do, but they do it. All right. So, what are some of those synonyms? So, an adage, something that's a concise statement or a proverbial saying that's accepted as a truth by a general population. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Aphorism, concise philosophical statement of a general truth or principle that can be presented humorously or seriously. And aphorisms can have multiple meanings. For example, you made your bed, now lie in it. Does that mean what it really says? Maybe not, and maybe. So we also have an axiom. It's a statement containing a principle that is self-evident, established, universally accepted, and requires nothing additional to validate its truth. The whole is equal to the sum of its parts. Is it really equal to the sum of its parts, or are we just believing that? All right. Cliche. A stereotypical statement that is overused to the point of losing effectiveness in meaning. An example, ignorance is bliss. A maxim. A statement containing a general truth or principle whose validity may be argued in some contexts. An example, don't count your trinkets before they're hatched. A tautology, a statement that unnecessarily expresses the same idea twice, sometimes using the same words. An example, they ate lunch at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Oh, if they ate at 1 p.m., it obviously had to be in the afternoon. Types of truisms. We have a bromide, which is a truism that is intended to comfort or calm someone, but it's basically meaningless due to the overuse. A lot of truisms are probably classified as bromides. When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. Does it necessarily mean that? It could, but it may not. A platitude is the other type of truism. A truism typically dealing with morality that is meaningless and ineffective due to overuse. An example, good things come to those who wait. Do good things come to those who wait? It may, and it may not. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So, what I want to talk to you tonight about is the fact that a truism is something that becomes part of you. Whether you like it or not, if you experience a truism, you sort of buy right into it without even thinking, such as life is not fair, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. They're down by 7. They've got to come back now and try to score. So truisms often seem like wisdom, and it appears that way. It's only on a further, deeper inspection that we actually are able to surmise and realize that they're actually pretty empty and meaningless and have no purpose. So, this is why they're so problematic and they take up room that could be used for actual insights and better connections in our brain. So, let's think about sports for a moment, right? An example from a 3. Wouldn't it be more useful if the commentators told us something new about the game? They might point out, for example, that the quarterback has a good track record of coming back from behind, or that his team was getting more possession and therefore more likely to win the game in spite of the numbers on the scoreboard. Instead, the commentators are always wasting viewers' time by stating useless truisms that really have no purpose and really don't attract the viewers to the game. In fact, anything, they detract the viewers. This, above all, to thine own self be true. William Shakespeare, Hamlet, said this. If he were not dead, he would still be alive. Tombstone of Jacques de Laplace, the French nobleman Jacques de Laplace. How about a truism in popular culture? You can observe a lot by watching Yogi Berra. Is that true? Or is that just something we want to believe is true? A tautology is a logical term for an extreme version of a truism. The technical definition of it is a statement whose predicate is contained in its subject. In other words, it adds no new information. A few basic examples would include the dictionary is a dictionary. My cat is a cat. My sandwich is food, right? I'll become smarter when I study more than 4 hours a day. Doesn't really mean that you're going to become smarter. So truisms are not open to interpretation. Anyone reading them just takes them at face value, and oftentimes they're wrong. But when people start to apply a truism to their life and they realize what's going on, they don't get so specific, because if it falls apart and they bind to it so well, they think that their life is falling apart. Now, that's not the truth. But when somebody gives you a directive, which is what a truism is, it transports you from where you are now to where the reader, the author, or the person wants you to be. It might have no relevance to anything that was said before. It may not. And then again, it may. The phone sounds like it's ringing, therefore it is ringing. I mean, that's just stupid. The door is locked, and when I turn the handle, I can't open it. Of course you can't open it. It's locked, right? So some truisms are true and some are not. But the reason I'm bringing this out to you is that if you live your whole life thinking that all truisms are true, then you're going to become very disappointed. You're going to be real upset with yourself, and you're going to be frustrated that you wasted all that time in life to believe something that was put in your head. Truisms are not questioned. They're accepted as fact. And see, that's the danger with them. People say, oh, well, that must be true. Like the one I shared with you last night about, why do we put a ring on the left Index finger. Why? Because it's the only finger that has a vein connected to the heart. That's total BS. If we look at medical terminology, all fingers have a vein and artery to the heart, right? Vein means it takes the blood to the heart, artery means it takes it away from the heart. So they all have this. I think a truism is a lady or a gentleman's way of being lazy and just accepting the statement. I'll give an example. The radio is on. Thus, I hear sound coming out of the box. They're both very ridiculous. All right. The paint is wet. Therefore, if I touch it, it's not dry. Of course, it's not dry. There are some truisms that are true, but a lot of the truisms out there are not really true. Some are, but some are not. And because we want to believe, because we want to accept it, and because we've been told that a truism is supposed to be true, we lock into a belief structure. And that belief structure simply means I have to take it for what it is. So you guys can understand the danger of a truism now, right? You can understand that if you accept something the way something is, and that causes you to have a different perception of your life, guess what? You've now done what I've told you with the elephant, right? That little baby elephant who's now a great big elephant can't break free of the chain. You imprisoned yourself in a belief structure. And I don't know about if you know this, ladies and gentlemen, it's very easy to do this, but it's very hard to get yourself out of a belief structure, especially if you haven't had practice. Now, if I said to you, all food has nutrition. Does it? Some does, some does not. If I lock my car, then it won't be stolen. That doesn't necessarily mean that, because your car still could be stolen even if it's locked. Somebody could break into it. Is this making some sense? Is this ringing true to you? No pun intended. Are you starting to get a sense of what I mean by why a truism can be a very deadly thing and really can bring you down? Not because you want it to bring you down, but because it just causes you to associate something that may not actually be what you think it really is. You just gravitate toward it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this wonderful evening on this Tuesday night, October 11th, 2022. I hope you'll like, love, and support my channel. Definitely comment below. Are truisms starting to have a different effect on you? I hope they are. Comment about that. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure to go to anyone on my YouTube channel, John space C space MORLEY space serial entrepreneur, and look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. Below that, click on the PayPal link and make the choice to buy my team and I a savory slice of watermelon, a delicious hot chocolate, or a refreshing beverage. Either way, we'll be grateful for those pennies and dollars. We'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to empower you to have what you need to become a better version of yourself if you really want to. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope that you've gotten a little more information on what a truism is and what a truism isn't. Have a great night, everyone.